back, guys. My name is Patrick. You're watching the Oilers Rundown. Just thought I'd give you an update today. Elliotte Friedman was a guest on Oilers Now with Bob Stauffer, and he provided some updates on where the Oilers are currently at trade-wise, who they're targeting. The number one target for the Edmonton Oilers appears to be Columbus Blue Jackets left-shot defenseman Vladislav Gavrikov. They're certainly not alone in that. There's a few teams looking at Gavrikov, but Gavrikov fits the Oilers' needs for sure. He's that defensive defenseman that the Oilers really need. They have guys that can provide offense right now in Tyson Barrie, Darnell Nurse, Evan Bouchard. They really do need that guy that can just properly defend. The Adam Larson type defenseman that Mike and I talked about from the Oilers Rundown earlier today. Gavrikov just kind of fits that perfectly for the Oilers. He's on an expiring contract, 1 year, $2.8 million. The Oilers should be able to find a way to make that work. But a cap crunch is definitely coming for the Edmonton Oilers with the pending return of Evander Kane. Talked about his return could be as early as late January, probably still more likely February, but whenever Evander Kane does come back, the Oilers do have to do some cap gymnastics to kind of make everything work. And if they want to make any trades and bring in additions, then they've got even more cap gymnastics ahead of them. Stauffer and Friedman mentioned that the price for Gavrikov is likely to come in at a first-round pick and a third-round pick, so Gavrikov isn't coming cheap. The number one target you guys know that I want the Oilers to go after, and many Oilers fans want the Oilers to go after, is Arizona Coyotes left-shot defenseman Jakob Chychrun. But Stauffer and Friedman put more cold water on that one today. It just does not look like the Oilers are going to be in on Chychrun. I really wish Ken Holland would change focus on that one. Chychrun is just... he's the perfect defenseman to add for the Oilers. 16 points in 17 games since his return this year. He's just the ideal guy to add there offensively and defensively. But like I said, it just looks like the Oilers aren't going to be going after Chychrun. Looks like Gavrikov could be the number one target for the Oilers. Another name that came up on the show today was Chicago Blackhawks defenseman Jake McCabe. He's had kind of a rough start to his career, played on bad teams in Buffalo and Chicago, so he's never really got the chance to show what he can do. McCabe is another big guy on defense, could get the chance to shine on a better team, so maybe the Oilers would be kind of an ideal fit for him, but we'll see what happens there. McCabe is signed for this year and the next 2 years to come at $4 million, so McCabe won't be an easy guy to add. He's kind of in the same price point range as Jakob Chychrun at $4.6 million, so the Oilers would have to move some contracts in and out, and they pretty much have to do that for any deal here. None of these deals are going to be easy to make for the Oilers. Jesse Puljujarvi was mentioned on the show again today. We know this is Puljujarvi's last season with the Edmonton Oilers, one way or another. Pretty much if the Oilers are going to do anything at the trade deadline, I think Puljujarvi has to be one of the guys that goes. He makes $3 million. The Oilers need to reallocate that money elsewhere in a trade, so Puljujarvi pretty much can't be an Oiler past the trade deadline if they do anything of substance. Maybe they can make some smaller deals and possibly keep him. But basically, if the Oilers want to be big players in anything, Puljujarvi's contract is definitely going to have to come off the books. Some other guys that are likely going to have to go, Warren Foegele at $2.75 million. Fogel's played well for the Oilers this year, had some injury problems, but basically he's another guy that I don't know how the Oilers are going to manage to keep if they're going to bring in other guys. His $2.75 million would likely have to go. Tyson Barrie is a guy that comes up constantly. I don't think the Oilers want to move Tyson Barrie at this point, although moving his $4.5 million would help, but Barrie has been one of the best, if not the best, defenseman for the Edmonton Oilers this year. So moving him, probably not the best idea. He's a really popular guy in the locker room, so I think a Tyson Barrie move would definitely be a last resort for the Edmonton Oilers. He's definitely not one of the guys they're looking to move right off the hop. Another guy I could see moving out would be Matthias Janmark. He's just on the 1-year deal, $1.25 million. He's played well for the Oilers since being called up, but once again, he's making a bit too much money for what he does. I think the Oilers would rather reallocate that money elsewhere, so Janmark is another guy I could see heading out the door. Some other names we could see moved for the Edmonton Oilers, but probably unlikely at this point. Defenseman Philip Broberg, he would likely go if a bigger left-shot defenseman came in. Evan Bouchard is a name that was discussed by Elliotte Friedman and Bob Stauffer. Stauffer said he wouldn't move Bouchard right now. Friedman kind of agreed with him as well, so I don't think Bouchard is a guy that's likely to move, but he might be someone that's under consideration depending on who the Oilers are bringing in return, if it's a huge difference maker. It really looks like the Edmonton Oilers and Chicago Blackhawks could be hooking up on a deal here. Jonathan Toews was brought up, Sam Lafferty, Max Domi. There's a lot of guys on the Hawks that the Oilers are looking at. This seems like a match that is going to happen at some point here. I think the Oilers could at least bring in Sam Lafferty, but Max Domi, Jonathan Toews, and now left shot defenseman Jake McCabe entering the mix. Possibly we see a really big deal between the Oilers and Blackhawks, multiple players. It doesn't happen very often, but there's two teams that have enough of a connection here where we could see a big multiplayer deal. The Oilers and Blackhawks are two teams that I think could make that kind of deal happen. But I think that's all for now, guys. Let me know your thoughts on those names, who you think the Oilers should target, in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel, and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan. I'll see you guys later tonight for the Fanatic Rundown following the Oilers and Kraken. Enjoy the game, guys. See you soon.